New Gaming Order. Today is October 16th, 2014. Coming at you with another section of the New Gaming Order panel. All right, we got Danae, owner of Tough Nerd Toys LLC. Make sure you check out his
Pleasure.
website.
Hi, everybody. How you doing?
Yes, he's been on our show in the past, and he's an avid supporter. So we're always glad to have him on when he can. We
Glad to
also,
be.
yeah, we have On Your Knees. He's with us again today.
Yo,
We have Mr. Colossus, aka Gokin86.
You
And
Is that responding?
oh
sorry about
and
that.
and my co-CEO brother Nelson, who's having I guess the Connect is having some issues via Skype. So
Yeah.
that's why we have that old NFO logo in there. So we're gonna get that fixed. But
Well, Nelson, you know your Connect won't work unless you do like a porn with it first. That's the only way it'll work.
Wow, really, Danae?
unbelievable.
Love like, really? I'm like, really?
All right.
Dang.
New gaming order. Just to get started, just a service announcement. Most of you who are on the PlayStation Network will come to know that it's down for maintenance. So, that's been floating around. Some of the fanboys are trying to say, hey, look at this, Sony that, blah, blah, blah. If it's down for maintenance, it's down for maintenance. But this would kind of be like a subtopic for today. Online updates for PSN and Xbox Live. All right. Would you rather have phantom updates, or would you rather have them shut the whole thing down for like a day or two, or however long it takes for them to do their maintenance on their servers? Well, hell, even Steam. Like if you're playing online with them, or the developers, would you rather have it where you still have access, or complete shutdown? All right. So I'm gonna give Tough Nerd Toys the floor first, and then we'll work our way. So Danae, what do you think? Should PlayStation Network's down today? Xbox Live is continually on with these phantom updates, but from time to time you'll see, hey, something up with the friends list and things like that. So, what are your
Right.
thoughts on it?
Well, me myself, I mean, coming from looking at it from a business perspective, I wouldn't want anything to shut down. I would want everything to keep going, as smooth as possible. And as a gamer, I mean, I don't want my gaming experience interrupted. And most of the games nowadays, especially the consoles, they have to be connected. So just give me a phantom update. I don't care. Sometimes I don't even want to know the updates that are coming through. You know what I mean? Just like give me a phantom update. I mean, I could care less. But when you shut the whole system down, you have some people like that play RPGs, MMOs, so on and so forth. They don't want their experience interrupted. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, I mean, you got to look at it from both ways. It's a double-edged sword. I mean, you have some people that'll be like, "Oh, I don't want. I'd rather they just shut the whole thing down and get it right." Or, "Look, I have to level up this character. I've been leveling up this character all night, and then you shut me down." And most like RPGs and MMOs that they have now, they have to be online to really do anything.
yeah, I feel
So,
you. I feel you. Okay, on your knees. What are your thoughts on that?
they should do what most MMOs do and have regularly scheduled maintenance. This way, every Tuesday morning at noon or whatever, shit goes down for 4 hours.
Uh-huh.
This way, you can get your maintenance in, repair your shit. Or even for PSN and Xbox Live, you probably don't need it to be down as often. You're not doing as many updates as you would for an MMO. Just put that shit down every 2 weeks or maybe first Monday in the month, whatever the fuck you want to do, and get your shit taken care of. This way you avoid crap like this.
Oh, okay, okay. Go, Ken. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm rereading that article. It kind of looks like it was an unexpected change, right? So it looks like they've had an emergency change going on over there. They're dressing it up as a maintenance, maybe. And I think something went south, you know. But
Mm.
I think if there was going to be an outage, most companies like Sony would let people know, hey, tomorrow you're not going to be able to game. People wouldn't wake up and say, damn, I can't game. And
Yeah,
Sony didn't tell me. So I'm surprised no one showed any emails. Oh, we told you we're going to have maintenance today. Like it's an odd day, a Thursday,
yeah.
and that doesn't happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Things like that are like infrastructure changes. They're back in, so they say, all right, so our change window is going to be 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. or to 6 a.m. And I'll let people know, hey, you can't game, in universal time. Like this is what it is, Pacific Standard, this East West Coast,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it looks like they had some type of some emergency. We don't know exactly what happened. They're probably not going to give us the details. They're just going to tell you everything is up.
Mm-hmm. but
keep
go,
the rules.
can I jump in real quick?
Yeah.
And this is not a fanboy statement, but this history has shown that the PSN security is not as secure as Xbox Live. Now,
Well,
everybody on this panel will tell you with that whole thing. I have PSN, and I was
right,
afraid that my credit card information was out there and all this other
right.
stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
Listen, if you're gonna get hacked, you're gonna get hacked. So something's gonna happen to Microsoft before. Something's gonna happen to Microsoft before.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, Colossus.
Listen, anybody can get hacked, right? It's been
That's true.
proven. It's happening all over the place. Microsoft just got lucky and it just hasn't happened yet, or it has happened, but they're better at covering it up than other people are. You know what I mean?
yeah.
This is one of those situations where something has happened, the system's down, right? And they have to say it's maintenance. They can't tell you what really happened, right? We won't know unless somebody on the inside tells us, "Hey, man, all these servers crap the bed or something in Singapore or somewhere. Something happened."
Yeah, yeah. All right.
You just won't know. So
All right.
I mean, I don't think it's their fault per se, but they could have did a better job at communicating it and not have to wait for like tweets and say, "Oh, we're investigating." Just on that front page, let people know, "Hey man, something's going on. We're working on it, and we'll get back."
but Goken, it's a bad look when we're working on it again. Get that shit secure. Like what the fuck,
I
man?
hear you. Coming from that type of background, I can understand things happen, bro.
Yeah.
Things happen, things go down. You got to get it fixed. I mean, just communicate it the right way. It's not like they just say, "Oh, we're doing a maintenance and we're doing upgrades for you right now in the middle of the day." No one does that. You know that.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? No one will do that to you. And normally PlayStation will tell you, here's your update. You got to do this now, or you can't move forward with this. Right? That's what normally happens.
Yeah.
Not that you wake up and then it's out. Right? You're normally on your PS. You're normally in control of when you can do your update. Sometimes you can't play your new game until you update.
Yeah.
But they normally give you that option.
Yeah. All right. So, Mugen, what are your thoughts? Because I know we were talking about this offline a little bit, but I know it might be a different opinion than the rest of us. But it's always good to have 4 different opinions on this panel. But Nelson, shoot from the hip, baby. What you got?
Well, I'm just gonna lay this out there with the recent information I'm reading up now. PlayStation is up right now. The reason why that they was down because they was doing updates for the new firmware for both the Vita, PSP, PS3, PS4, all of that. So they wanted to have some maintained control so there won't be as much lag or much issues and something else goes wrong and then they can't tackle it as fast as whatever. Another thing is they let their fans know a month ahead of time on the official Sony site, and they also let them know on the console a week before.
Because you know what, I can show you right now. Like they sent out a message, they sent out an email, everything that they were going to be down. So I was pretty much expecting it. They said, but they put it was like a time frame within like they were going to how long they might be down, but give or take. But I mean.
Right.
I guess PlayStation, because believe me when I tell you, as much as I love PlayStation, they definitely need to come up to speed with Xbox. And I'm multi-platform. I'm PC, Xbox, so on and so forth. But
as far as patches and upgrades, you mean? As far as patches and upgrades?
I would say, I'm gonna be honest with you, as far as a lot, because I mean, I have a PS4, I have an Xbox One, and I have faith in Sony, but it's just that, as I was telling Alex before, they have the mad scientists with ADD going on. Like they'll make a wonderful product and then they'll just leave it, or like they'll just like, "Oh, we'll get to this later. Let's just work on that," and
Yeah, they got an ADD syndrome to them, like the PS Go,
exactly.
the Vita. I mean, there's no real games for Vita. Like, I mean, Cross Tekken and Marvel, Ultimate Marvel 3. That's all I really got, and aside from some other games, they just need to push more support for some of this stuff.
I got a Vita. I had a Vita at 2 different times, and I sold both of them.
Yeah,
right? I got rid of them twice.
I mean, like my Vita sits right on my office, like, on my entertainment shelf over there in my office here. And I mean, like, it's like, to me, I feel as though they have, how can I say? they have an antiquated way of thinking, but a revolutionary, like with revolutionary ideas. You know
No,
what I mean?
I can agree with they're bad at planning. They're not good. They're not their planning is not as great. Like
It's
I remember
not. It's not.
my biggest problem with Sony was that every time if I didn't play my PS for like 2 days and I got on, I had like to wait 30 minutes to do an
Yeah,
update
to
every
come
Yeah, yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. Oh, you know what? I
exactly.
haven't played my
Exactly.
PS4 in a while, and I bet you I'm gonna have
Yeah, you're right.
hella updates. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, I mean,
that
Okay.
is the biggest problem. It's a lack of good planning, and I think when you have a change like that during the middle of a day, I mean during the whole day, even if you communicated a whole month early, that's still poor planning. I mean,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's really bad planning. Like,
It's very bad planning, and I
yeah,
mean, like, it business wise, it's very bad because
yeah,
you don't with a business like that, you want consistency. You got to keep that consistency.
okay.
And unfortunately, with Xbox, and I don't want people to think like I'm an Xbox fanboy. I'm a console. I'm a gamer. I enjoy whatever console has what I want to play. That's what I want. You know what I mean? I could care less. Like, but PlayStation really needs to get it together in certain aspects, or like I don't see a bright future for them. I
no,
really don't.
I don't agree with that. I
But
think they have I think they
okay,
have poor
time,
infrastructure
time,
and
time. I
Oh,
got you guys. I got you guys. But I know we're gonna save that for the tail end when we do the wrap
Okay.
up
All
because
right.
I know we
oh,
will go back and forth for days on this.
no, but
But
hold up, hold up, hold up. I didn't even get to finish
all
because
right,
I
go
didn't even
ahead.
give my 2 cents on it. So I'm gonna make this real quick.
All right. Oh
In the
shit.
sense of what do I prefer, the phantom updates or the regular maintenance installed updates, I would prefer the regular maintenance installed because it would be more easier for them to concentrate to the source of what's needed to be uploaded or be revised within the patch. Not you can't always blame Sony saying like, oh, they always have fuck ups and stuff like that. Microsoft on a daily basis has to fix their friends list, their games, their connection, their downloading time,
It
their
was just funky a little
currency.
while ago, Nelson. I'm telling you,
It
I was on
was.
Xbox and we all just went into like a temporal rift. And like it was just like my friends list said zero for a minute, then it popped back
Yep.
up. I was like, what?
Yep. Yep. So, in all honesty, I'd rather prefer the maintenance because both consoles do have like a lot of networking issues that they do need to resolve. But the thing that I do want to mention is there's a modded hacking company that has been striking both Sony and Microsoft very hard called Lizard Squad. They've been tampering with everyone's shit. So
Yeah, they're a
that's
bunch of
another reason why.
yeah, they're a
Lizard
bunch of
Squad.
fuck ups.
Yeah. All right. So there you have it, New Gaming Order fans. Like we're not always on Microsoft's side. So this is just so that y'all are aware of that. But moving on. Now, apparently the source comes from Polygon. There was a review on Bayonetta 2 that drew some fire. And I guess some people are like kind of butthurt. It received a 7.5. Now, as I look at it, I listened to that podcast and it's like it's almost it's that game needs to be on other consoles, you know, but not just for the ratings, but it's just Nelson and I were talking about console exclusives from third party folks, and it's almost as if they're returning back to the early PS2 days where you can only get games on PS2 because there was a bigger user base for PS2. Let's be honest,
well,
right?
remember Nintendo struck that deal.
What's
They
that?
had to like hold on to. They had to stay committed to that deal they made with Nintendo. So it's tough. Maybe a year and a half, though. Other consoles will get it, but
No, no,
having
no.
things committed.
Goken, actually, Nintendo helped flip the bill to develop Bayonetta 2.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Otherwise,
Yep.
the game wouldn't exist. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
So,
what I mean. So they're the ones like so that's why they have to own it. I mean, they're the ones who invested in it.
yeah. And
So
you know what? I think that Sony fucked up, Microsoft fucked up because now you have a lot of people on two different user bases that won't get the game. And I'd be damned if I go get a system for one game. It's just not wise. It's not wise. But going into Guilty Gear XR. Now, me, I was venting to Nelson earlier, and how I felt that it's kind of bullshit that Guilty Gear won't be on 360 or the X1. Now, I understand the 360 has disk capacity limitations that Nelson and I were talking about with the what was it we were talking about, Nelson? You gotta help remind this old man.
We was talking about how Microsoft doesn't have the disk capacity as of when on before in the past they tried to get Blaze Blue Chrono Phantasma on the 360. They couldn't because they don't have enough storage data on the disc. But the PS3 has Blu-ray, so they can instantly port over the entire 10.9 gigabytes of memory onto the disc without no trouble.
Hmm.
So then, and Microsoft was like, all right, we're gonna stray away from this because it's gonna be too much work and to make it half digital DLC and all this other shit. So they stood away from it.
Hmm.
Sony saw it coming again with Guilty Gear on the 360 and the X1 because Microsoft has been focusing everything on Killer Instinct. They thought they can just build on that fighting game and make it into a better game, which is possible. So Sony's retaliation is okay, they got Killer Instinct. We can't get that on our console, so let's fight back with the same strength. Let's take Guilty Gear, since 360 is not going to really do nothing with it, or the one, and make it exclusive for the PS3 and the PS4.
But Nelson,
And they
Nelson,
fought
hold
back.
on, hold on, hold on. Not to stray, but to as the rebuttal, that research that I did, where it seemed that Japan will always have the quintessential influence on what comes out on what console. Now, the X1 is not doing well in Japan at all. All right. Granted, if a console or a piece of hardware is not doing well in one region, but it's doing fairly decent in the other, why cut out the US market for getting Guilty Gear XR? You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't make sense to me. But I'm gonna give everybody a chance to talk on that. But you see, you got Bayonetta locked down on Nintendo. You got Guilty Gear, which once was multi-console, now locked on PS4. And Nelson was actually we were just going back and forth with Killer Instinct. Well, this is retaliation for Killer Instinct. Remember, Killer Instinct now is in a capacity where it's technically a first party thing. Microsoft bought out Rare. It Microsoft owns it, so it's like they're Mario or something, or it falls into the Gears of War or Halo category. It's if you're gonna play it, you get it on there. But Arc System works. Like even with the whole thing with Metal Gear and how you only can get Metal Gear on PlayStation, but then eventually you want multi-console. You know what I mean? But it's just that stuff irks me because they cut people off. But starting off with Tough Nerd Toys, then On Your Knees. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, I think it's just bullshit. Like, people should have access to these games. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, but I mean, basically, as and again, I have to stress the fact that it's a business. And right about now, the way to make it the way these consoles are going to survive is proprietized gaming, or pretty much like like Sony's God of War, or like whatever. It has to be proprietized content. Like the games are going to be specific. You can only play this game on this console.
Mm.
Because I mean, like, yeah, essentially, like, you got like the PlayStation 4 and you got the Xbox One, but they're still running the same specs. So I mean, like, when it comes to games, unlike us, we don't, like, the average person's not counting frame rates and all that other stuff. They just want the game. You know what I mean?
Mm.
They want the game. So if they have it for both consoles, where's the competition? You follow what I mean?
Mm.
So it's gonna be about exclusive content, exclusive games, exclusives. So
Okay,
I mean,
so Danae,
it sounds
not to
messed up. It
interject.
sounds messed up, but essentially, you have to understand, Alex.
Mm.
I'm gonna be honest. They could really care less about our entertainment experience. They want those numbers. They want those numbers.
Yeah, but
Trust me when I tell you.
uh, uh,
Like years ago,
uh,
not to cut you off, but years ago, back in when I went to Comic Con and I went to Toy Fair, back in like 2007, 2008, before the big DLC thing started becoming like prominent. I was telling everybody, because when you go to these toy fairs, and I know I probably shouldn't be saying this, but when you go to these toy fairs and these pretty much like these conventions, they tell you exactly what's coming down the pipeline, regardless if you want it or not. They tell you. And I would tell a lot of people, I said, you're going to start paying for extra content on your games. They was like, nah, they wouldn't do it. I said, yeah, they will. Trust me when I tell you. And like the year or two later,
now it's the way
DLC
of
was
business. That's how games
exactly. It's
survive. Yeah.
business. It's business.
Hmm.
It's business.
But what I was trying to say is the fact of the matter is, okay, Nelson actually was telling me that I guess me wanting certain games on I want content available on my preference. I don't want to be shoehorned into getting another system because right now I have 3 consoles taking up my damn table. All right, I mean, it's just
That's the
like,
only way they're
what the
gonna make
fuck?
money. That's the only way they're gonna make money, Alex. They have to
You got
shoehorn you
15
in.
years
They
to
have.
get rid of that.
It's inevitable. They're going to shoehorn you in.
Yeah,
They're not going to work together. I mean, like the only way they would work together is like some, I don't know, some new technology came forth or whatever. But right now, it's a war. It's a war. And
yeah,
these consoles are desperate because not only because within the transition into onto these new consoles, myself, I can say personally, I lost a lot of friends back to PC. I'm
mm,
not lying. Like you got companies like Steam. You have and for the cash gamer that was on there on like Xbox and PlayStation.
yeah,
They went to stuff like this because of the simple fact that for a casual gamer, smartphone or tablet is perfect.
yep,
You understand what I'm saying?
yeah. And you know what?
So yes, they're going to shoehorn you in, and I know you want your content at your leisure or pretty much like where you want it to be, but they're not. They don't want that. They want you to get your content for that game on this console. That's
Yeah.
what they want.
So control over how you access that
Yeah,
stuff.
of
Now, you know
course,
what?
of
New gaming
course.
order. I'm still editing video from Comic Con, but me and Shinwar actually spoke with Marvel over that whole controversy where people were pissed off at them that they felt that they abandoned the console market. But just stay tuned for that. I'm not gonna delve into that too much. This way,
Right.
we get some views for that. But on your knees, what are your thoughts on that particular?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say a little more there. All right. Well, it's just like Danae said. It's about exclusivity. You got to drive people to your console with unique shit. If everyone has the same shit on both, the only thing that's going to outdo it is performance, except with exceptions like Ubisoft, who claims that, oh no, the PlayStation can't do it. And I forget which game company it was, but they're saying, yeah, Sony is 1080p, Xbox is 900. I don't remember the game, otherwise I'd cite it here.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's all about getting exclusive content,
Hmm.
and then you got to get your people in there with that. But as for Xrd, come on PC release. Don't be a shitty port like your other games.
You know what? Because I know me and On Your Knees play. We used to
That
go
is
in Guilty Gear. You know what I mean? So like that kind of was a disappointment if I had folks over or whatever. I mean it's what it is. If there's a PC one, I'll hold out because XR will be out in December for the PS3 and PS4. So we'll see. But Goken, what are your thoughts on this?
Oh yeah, yeah. Back to what Danae was saying. Well, what I see happening, right? I think this will probably be we're close to the last generation of consoles. Okay,
Yep.
we're going to see happen. Two things have to happen first, right? Right. The streaming of games from Sony and Xbox has to be completely successful, right? That market, when they start streaming the backwards compatible games and they're doing all that stuff with the streaming, if that is successful, it's maintainable, it's consistent, we know we're not getting another console. Right. So right now, it's about exclusives and it's about bringing people into your ecosystem. A lot of people who are heavily invested in Xbox One, it's like Apple. You're heavily invested in Apple ecosystem, and once you're in, you buy all this stuff. You can't get out. It's not.
That's right.
It's not efficient. It's not cost effective to get out of that ecosystem.
Yeah, yeah.
Just stay in because it's convenient. So Sony can keep bringing in a whole bunch of people with their ecosystem, keep them buying stuff, and they're going to sign up for PSN. They get to stream the games, and it's successful. And if Xbox can do the same thing, it's not going to matter anymore. We're just going to be going to Xbox.com on our computers or our little boxes on our
Exactly.
things. And same thing with PlayStation.
That's
So
right. That's
so
right.
so so you may not have to worry about this whole console war thing at one point because you'll probably pay $15, $20 a month to be able to get access to all those games on the subscription base.
Yep.
Right. So
That's not a bad
And
idea.
so we're not too far away from it. There's a lot of infrastructure stuff that's going into place. We're not far from it. It just right now you have to get stuck with these exclusives because they need something to get people into their ecosystem, right? And then find that perfect price point for your Netflix or Xbox One,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
$40 a month or 50. Would you pay $50 a month to be able to stream any game you want that Xbox releases? Think about that, right?
Yeah,
So
if you
I played
balance
these
it
titles.
out, yeah, if you
Yeah,
balance it out,
you know
like,
what I mean.
okay.
So
All right, but
so
on your knees, you want to
Yeah, there's already services for that game streaming. It's OnLive.com is one,
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
and there might be other ones that I can't think of right now. But they're already out there. Once the internet infrastructure in this country gets closer to the rest of the industrialized world, or even less. I mean, I think we're ranked 27th in the world for broadband right now, which is kind of sad. But once it gets up there, you'll see more services like that come up.
Okay.
And it'll be far cheaper for them. They don't have to invest any money into hardware, into consumer level hardware. So that is the future. It's just a matter of how long it's going to take for that to happen.
Okay. Now, Mugen, what are your thoughts on this?
On the whole, making everything exclusives and stuff like that.
Yeah, the whole, like, how we were just going back and forth over the Guilty Gear, the
Oh, the
Bayonetta.
conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay, okay. Well, I'll just repeat exactly what I said when me and Alex was discussing this offline. For a person like me, I'm gonna mention me because I used to have every fucking console due to my recent personal issues, but I used to have every single console to date out. There was not one game that would pass by me that I would say, "Oh, I can't get it because I don't have this console." If you are a person that has the money and you can get all these consoles to play the games, by all means, you shouldn't be complaining. My opinion, though. But then again, I also understand from Alex's opinion where if you use the console very much so often as like everyday usage, like the Xbox One, and he wants to confine all his content, all his time and efforts onto one console, he would like all the third party games, because first party you can't do shit about,
Yeah, yeah.
but all the third party games to be conducted under each and every console so everyone could get a chance at it. That I get too, but in this new day and age, companies are attacking each other by the throats to see who can get the higher pull at the end of the day. And third party exclusives are now being bought out as if there were first party exclusives to the console. It's all about the money. If you got the money, like how Sony did to Blaze Blue and to Guilty Gear, that's theirs. Same thing like how Bayonetta 2 is Wii U exclusive now until maybe timed. I don't know, but Nintendo threw out a lot of platinum games. I mean, a lot of money to
Yeah.
platinum games. So, in my opinion, if you have the consoles and you have the money to get the games, stop complaining. If you don't have the money and you only have one console and you're struggling to get all these games and you can't play them, I understand your point in that, but you might have friends that might have the game that you can go over their house.
Now, here, my thing is, way back, I know that this is not an economy that's encouraging for folks to willingly throw their money away on gaming like that. You know what I mean? So, if they're smart, I think if you have different doors, different avenues, or user bases, like, I feel that Nintendo, well, Platinum Games fucked up because they could have been pulling in revenue from Microsoft and Sony towards Bayonetta with it being on the Wii U. But there would be no incentive to get a Wii U, right? Even I've been tempted to say, hey, you know what? Should I get a used one just so I can play Bayonetta? I'm on that fence. Now, you look, I have a PS4, but I rarely use it. Now I'm going to be using that Chronos Max Plus so I can use my controller on that system. You know what I mean? It's just, I just wish it was simpler. You know what I mean? But like on your knees was saying, eventually they're gonna go away from this console hardware, and we don't even have to be bickering about this stuff. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it to me right now it feels just like the Blu-ray HDVD war all over again. It's that same cutthroat. I don't give a fuck about the consumer. I'm gonna survive. You know what I mean? So Microsoft, Sony, they got to do what they got to do. But um, moving on to the next topic, and afterwards it'll kind of be like free reign. But there is Extreme Tech. They turned a PS4 into a laptop. Um, Now, reversing the order. I'm gonna go to Nelson first. I see. I'm looking at it like there's two different price points. I see 1100 and 1400. Now, new gaming order fans, would you invest in this? A portable system, and I would get it if I know I can still plug it into a TV. You know what I mean? But if it's like hard coded or hardwired into that laptop screen, then I don't know about that. If I had the flexibility, hey, fine. But Nelson, what are your thoughts on this portable PlayStation 4 that Mr. Extreme Tech has developed?
Well, I mean, it's just for like the extreme hardcore gamers in order for them to have something new in their household. It's not really mandatory to get. You're still getting technically the same shit, and it's just more compressed or a little bit more, I guess, stylish in a sense of a way to make it seem like, oh, I should probably go get this. Honestly, you're paying how much it says here, almost $1,100, including shipping and handling. Guys, this costs only $400 for the regular console. Why waste all the extra money? Built-in monitor, get your own TV, your own computer monitor. You're wasting efforts. And I see a lot of things here, like they say, oh, there's a 22-inch screen, a 1080p Vizio TV. The thing weighs about 6.5 pounds. Apparently, it's easier to lug around in your backpack and stuff like that. So they're trying to give you like the incentive, like, okay, get this, because it makes it easier for the consumer to lug around. No, most people now have the internet and can play with people from their home instead of going to their house. So
Okay, okay.
I have to spend some money on this.
All right, Colossus, what are your thoughts on that?
So I think I'm going to argue against Nelson here on this one, but I agree with you a little bit, but I do see opportunity there, right? If someone wanted to buy 30 of them and do local tournaments somewhere or something like that, those are a lot easier to bring around. Those are a lot easier to bring around than anything else, right? If I'm on a college campus and then there's a group of us that I guess LAN parties, you can't really do those with the consoles like that, but you have them all in the same vicinity. Everyone just shows up in the library or a room or whatever, puts their headsets on, and they're gaming, right? I mean, I can see a market for it, right? It's not for everybody. I don't think they're marketing it for everybody. They're marketing it for that extreme gamer, like the addict, right? You got the addicts that can't get away from the sport. They get out of class and they go to the library, they put it on their headphones and they're gaming, right? And then they're walking through life and they're just gaming wherever they go. They're gaming at Starbucks. They're gaming wherever, right? Yeah. It's for that person or that company that wants to be able to have a gaming lounge, right? How often do you see a gaming lounges anywhere anymore, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I could see it opening up some new markets and new opportunities for other people. Like somebody can open up a gaming lounge in New York. You can walk in, there's a whole bunch of these little things sitting around, and you could do a one-day lounge and be traveling across the United States with the council, and everyone comes in, like things like that. I think it opens up some opportunities. But again, I wouldn't pay $1,100 for it.
No.
But
that's a mortgage. That's a mortgage payment, some rent or whatever. It's not that serious.
It's rent. It is rent.
I'm sorry.
But
I will take time and lug my PlayStation or Xbox One, whatever I have to.
Yep.
It reduces that, right? You just have this one box, like a super big laptop, like back in the day. And you just have two cables that like maybe just one cable now, just the power plug. I mean, see, now that even sells it even more for that type of, the customer that needs it or the company that's looking to do something like that.
Yeah, so Gokin, you're saying that's good for travelers, for people who travel a lot. That might be a good thing for them too. You know what I mean?
Right,
like,
exactly. If I'm in a hotel room and I like to game or whatever, I can bring it to the hotel room. I think it opens up the market for somebody. Like I said, like a gaming lounge, like somebody can have like a gaming tour bus or whatever, and they throw that thing in there, something like that. Like, oh, we're doing a tournament every day of the year in a different city or something weird like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it has some potential for something, but not for the regular person at $1,100. This looks stupid.
I think it's probably gonna be a hit or miss. I think that if they market it well, if the right niche catches on, I think that it might be a decent thing. I don't, who knows? On your knees, what are your thoughts on this portable little rig that they came up with.
Who, me?
Yes. Uh-oh. We lost all
Yeah,
your
I,
leads.
Flag.
I heard two of your last 10 words there, so I didn't know you were talking to me.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Oh, I guess it was Buzz
yeah,
breaking up.
I'm gonna quote. I forgot his name, but the price is just too damn high. I'm sorry, that was awful.
Or like Farouk. Damn. All right.
I think, but yeah, it's too high. It's either 1100. I'm seeing some quotes at 1400. You want an HDMI output? It's an extra 50. So they do have that,
Really?
but yeah.
Are you serious?
Oh, it's
Now you'll get one now, Alex.
yeah, it's
Oh.
13.95. If you have them by the PlayStation 4, 10.95 if you supply an extra 50 for the HDMI out. Flat rate of $75 U.S. shipping to the lower 48s. Yeah, so on top of that, you're paying at least for what you want.
Yeah. Maybe
You can
reconsidering
probably
that.
custom rig it yourself for far less. Yeah, especially you. You have the know-how. You can probably make one yourself for probably like $200. You can make the same kit.
Yeah, me and Goken are pretty good at that stuff, so I mean that wouldn't
Yeah,
be
that's
too
what I'm
hard.
saying. I mean, like you guys, man. Yeah,
Don't waste
you
your
know,
money.
yeah.
All right. So
I'll say nothing when you come to my gaming cafe.
So
Aww.
I'm just like, if you got a gaming cafe, you got bucks like that. So of
They'll be
course.
like, "What's with these shitty little screens? They're too small. Where's the 90-inch?"
all right. All right. So tough nerd, what are your thoughts on that before we begin to wrap up or going into a final segment?
Well, I mean, like it's for a targeted audience, but it's not something that could me myself. I don't see, and I could be wrong, but again, looking from a business perspective, it's too much of a risk. It's too much of a risk or like a novelty to
Yeah.
where
Yeah,
would,
yeah, yeah. You're
you
right.
know what I'm saying? Where I would like definitely, so like I would invest in it. I'd be like, oh, then like that's something once if I had like some spare cash laying around or like like I had a little bit of money left around, I would fund that project. But I don't think it would really, especially now, like right now, I don't think it's the right it would be the right, the right product to try to sell. I'm
Is
more
it
like,
too
yeah, you
early
can
in the
sell.
console's life?
Exactly.
Okay.
It's too early. It's too early.
Okay. Well, it makes sense.
I
Makes
mean,
sense.
I understand. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I mean, like, who knows? This thing could take off like wildfire, but I don't see it really going as far as the customer base that it may have right now. You know what I mean? I don't see like everybody running out like, oh, go get one, go get one. You gotta no.
Yeah.
Like you said, like us, like somebody like Colossus who may have like a gaming cafe or so on and so forth. Yes, excellent. That's perfect for him. But
Get your
like
Starbucks
the
and
average
game.
yeah, I mean, like, but the average gamer, like, they're already stressing over the fact they spent like five or $600 for the console they got. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. All right.
I don't know. I don't, you got to look at things realistically sometimes versus like the revolutionary approach or the innovative approach sometimes
Uh-huh.
when it comes to customers.
What if it is only costing them $150 to make that thing, right? And
Oh,
it's
okay,
probably
well,
built.
yeah.
It's most likely it's built to order. I'm pretty sure they're doing built to order. They're not just mass manufacturing these things. That would be stupid. But they're
Yeah.
they're probably going to make some pretty good money if the cost
Well, I
actually.
mean, now their price point to build these things are only 150, and they're making like $1,400. That's ghetto gold where I'm coming
Yeah,
from.
yeah.
Like,
If they're
that's
doing
like
that, they're
if I'm
making
buying
money hand over fist. Like they're maximizing that profit like ridiculous. If that is indeed the case, but chances
right.
are,
Yeah, 22-inch screens are not that expensive anymore. I mean,
No,
they're not that expensive anymore. So
no, no, but
it's
I do think it's cost them a bit more than 150 or
150. I'm pretty sure it's a little bit more than that, but nothing crazy. They can't be building that for 400. The console costs you 400. I
yeah.
don't. I don't think they could be spending more than 300 to build that thing, especially depending on what that thing is actually made of. If it's wood or if it's like carbon fiber or whatever,
yeah,
Right.
like to sell it at 1100, they have to be making at least 400 to
yeah,
450.
yeah.
20. I mean, they wouldn't Like you can't. Like, there's no way I see them selling that thing at that price point and them not making a good chunk of change, right? You know.
Right, right.
All right. Now,
Like I said, I'm not saying like totally like no, it won't work. It won't work. Yes, it's gonna reach a certain audience. It's like I said before. To me, I feel like that's a targeted product. It's for a targeted audience. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
mean,
I got you.
it's not like it's something that
I see that.
everybody's gonna grasp onto.
All right.
Yeah,
Now,
it's for the rich guys like Colossus.
all right, but for time's sake, we're gonna begin the wrapping up portion. There was a topic that I'm gonna say for the next podcast with Microsoft lagging in sales. Is it too late for them to turn it around? So stay tuned for that. That probably will come on next week. And the panel is more than welcome to join. Now, if we have all the staff, we'll probably break it up into two groups, Team A and Team B, and then we can set that up. But in closing, anything that going around the table, starting with Nelson, Gokin, on your knees, and Toughness Toys. Anything you want to bring up before we bring this podcast to a close?
Basically, as I keep repeating before, guys, just keep subscribing to the YouTube channel if you're new viewer, and we'll greatly appreciate the fact that you guys are also transferring over slowly to the Twitch portion of things, where we do these podcasts live, and then you'll basically see the pre-recording on youtube.com/Alex Lexus. But we are setting things in motion. I just want you guys to understand that we're still having the effect of adding new personnel onto the show and onto like the actual crew. So if you guys want any involvement in that, I'll have everything in the info section below. So just look down and everything will be there for you to be able to follow up on that.
Alrighty. Gokin, any final words for our audience?
Well, I did want to say that I actually caught these Super Smash Brothers controllers. I'll probably take some pictures, do a quick review of them
Wait,
later.
was
I
that
got
a stock symbol on there?
I got the Yoshi and I got the Mario.
What the
I know.
So they're the GameCube. A little surprise. They're the GameCube controllers.
Okay.
For Super Smash Brothers. So I peeped these at E3. And they just looked awesome. PDP makes them. I don't know how many of them they're gonna make. I had to pre-order a couple of them. I got Princess Peach coming too, but that's gonna be good when we do the. I'm gonna do it with the controller. I got some little gripes with it so far, but when we do the Smash Bros. Live stream later on when it comes out, we'll talk more about it. But I have some pictures of this stuff.
Sweet.
And then check out what the big complaint. We can actually go buy it.
All right, cool. All right, on your knees. Any final words for the audience before we log off?
Stop with the DLC nonsense. I'm not paying $90 to $100 for your games. Go fuck yourselves.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. I have to jump in. WWE 2K15. Hold on. Wait a minute. WWE 2K15, the Hulk Hogan edition, is $99. Matter of fact, Forza Horizon 2, that super whatever pack, $99. No, absolutely not. I'm doing a reverse Daniel Bryan. No,
messed up,
no.
Man. It's messed up, but it's the way.
Borderlands.
Listen, I warned people about this years ago when I first went to Toy Fair. I was like, they are going to start making you pay more. I said, by the time you're done, and if you're a really big fan of that game or that series or whatever the case may be, you are going to end up paying at least like $150 for that one game.
Yeah.
All said
that's a problem. I think we should probably talk about a lot of those DLCs, but it's a problem. Games used to have stories and they ended. That was it.
Exactly.
End the story. Exactly. Give me the next game. Save that next story for the next new good game.
Yeah, you know what?
Don't
yeah,
stop.
And you know what?
Stop with the DLC. Let it end, and then give me something good. You're wasting a good story when you could be doing something new with that.
They don't care. They don't care.
But you know what, guys? For the next podcast,
get that money.
Yeah, for the next podcast, I'll bring that up because Asura's Wrath is a prime example of that. But
Love that game. Absolutely love
I
that
do
game.
too. Everyone loves that game.
yeah, but
Love that game. Love it.
yeah, for time's sake, Danae, what are any final words for the audience? And you can plug your website and your.
Thank you very much. No, basically, I'm happy to be on the show. It was a great show. As far as the consoles go, I mean, only time will tell. Only time will tell where we're going in terms of in terms of gaming, in terms of innovation, so on and so forth. Because I mean, I'm an old gamer. I've been gaming before like the Atari. Everybody thinks the Atari was the first console, but it wasn't. But I mean, I
ColecoVision.
think it wasn't. I try to tell people that, but I've
Yes.
been gaming for a very long time, and I expect a little bit more in terms of like where gaming is right now. But I mean, who knows what the future holds? We can only hope for the best, and you know.
All right, all right. So there you have it, New Gaming Order fans. Like Nelson said, please support this Twitch channel. Check out toughnerdtoys.com where you get the
Yep,
latest and greatest.
www.toughnerdtoys.com. Check us out.
All right.
Action figures and stuff like that, comics, all the good stuff.
All right. And also, I am now helping air the show on screwattack.com. You're going to see this podcast
Excellent,
air,
excellent.
air on Screw Attack. I'm also going to be jumping into game trailers. We're going hard. So, you're going to see bigger and better
Excellent.
things. The more the staff grows, the more me and Nelson get in terms of resources, you're going to see some real off the wall stuff. So shout out to Shinwar, Noob, the other members of New Gaming Order that I'm forgetting off the top of my head. And shout out to Lance Cryer, aka Free One Up. He has put a video of Mario with the axe actually killing Koopa and cutting people and getting gangster. So you gotta, if you're friends with him on Facebook, you gotta check that out. But without further ado, this has been our podcast for today. Please subscribe. We're only getting bigger and better, and we'll see you next time on the New Gaming Order podcast show. Peace.